What is up, Zelda Speedruns? I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Zelda Speedruns and welcome to Wind Waker Randomizer. Spytron versus Gymnast86 with a slight delay. Thanks for sticking with us. And without further ado, I'll hand you over to our commentators, Advocate and Vimilia. How are you today?
Hello. I'm doing
Doing
pretty
good.
After the short struggle, which we were luckily able to clear up, we got a race now, just in time.
And it'll be a good one.
For sure, yeah. Currently, Spytron is up one game. If Jim takes this one, they will do the third game later today. So we'll see what happens. And they are off.
Let's see where we are starting.
Starting on some... Oh, I always see some divergence.
Fight control?
Like, not divergence, I guess, but more like Gymnast is usually reading as hints doing Mila, but it seems like he's not today.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we're starting with hook shots, and Season 5 settings have we get a random starting item.
With that as well, I would like to quickly give a shout out to Ricky for continuing their sub right as stream started. Thank you for continuing to support us, not only monetarily here at CSR, but also as a mod. We appreciate you.
All right. Spy already talking to Tingle and getting power bracelets as their first item. While Jim collected some money on his way here, which we need some money for the Zunari side quest. Oh,
Grapple?
Damn, Tingle being generous today.
That's some really good starting items here in the first minute and a half.
Yeah, for sure. And some more in the maze. Since Spy, what you can just see there is Spy peeking that chest because we are using a setting that's chest type matches content, which means if we look at a chest and it's spiky, we already know that it's most likely a required item. While wooden chests are nothing but like rupees, spoils, or heart pieces, and like blue golden chests in dungeons are keys.
And a piece of cheese.
Yeah, not the most exciting for now, but definitely required for later.
Yeah. I wonder what else we'll find here in our first 5 minutes, because that's already quite a bit of good stuff.
I guess we will see Spy set up Linzo door cancel now, because his play is usually to read the hints while running up to the door, since you have to like go through the text boxes anyways. So he's keeping track of the hints while doing that, which is definitely a valid play. Not something that most other runners do, but for sure, not bad, not bad.
I mean, for a while we saw Jim doing his reading of hints through Mila, so we're already seeing something a little bit different out of him. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Maybe I don't remember the first match, but maybe he got punished for it because Mila is a check that can be hinted, and if you're reading hints during Mila and Mila's getting is a dead item, you're wasting 2 minutes basically, which costs which is a ton of time, especially since Season 5 settings are rather short.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can see Spy on the left side, reading his hints now. Sadly, Pompey and Vera is not something we can skip today. We don't need the pearls to open Tot G, but we do need the pearl. Like, we might need Ferora's pearl because it opens a mail check.
I imagine that's something that our runners are probably hoping to not need, though.
Yeah, especially since Spy already is doing Lenzo Drawer Council. You can't. You would have to go back through Lenzo's to get the picture, which is really, really slow. That's why a lot of runners delay going to Windfall to possibly get a Picto Box so they can do that on their first go.
And we got a Tingle statue on Tot. With that though, with the items we've gotten, I would definitely say the seed going to Windfall early was the correct choice.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty fair. What most runners usually do is go to Cliff Plateau and Bird's Peak, because you can get the checks there like already at the fastest way when starting the seed. So there's not really a reason to put it off.
We've already seen in our hints that Bird's Peak Rock is barren this seed.
Yeah, that is very true.
So that does make that a little different, and we're gonna have to see when they pick up our other one. Since now they don't route together nicely.
Cliff Plat, like doing Cliff Plat on its own is pretty easy though, because it's because it's not as out of the way as Bird's Peak. So Bird's Peak being barren is definitely the preferred one. And yeah, you can see Jim just casually rolling through the locked door and getting rewarded with the bait bag.
We have everything except for bait to do Big Pig here before we reach 10 minutes. This is excellent news.
Yeah, that's definitely very nice to do outset laters, so that they can just do almost all checks instantly. Maybe we even find a bottle so that we can do Grandma on our first trip and we never have to come back to outset.
Spy catching Anton there.
Yeah, Spy's choice of model is quite known in the community to be rather special.
Special sure is a word for it.
Are we getting the iron boots, which are also very required for this seed since we have Wind Temple, although they don't do anything routing wise.
Yeah.
Getting some money from Miss Marie is also always nice, so you don't have to worry about getting it elsewhere. Usually Bird's Peak is one place where we get money at early, since there are like a few pots where you can pick up some. But since it's barren, like you mentioned earlier, that's not an option for us.
Similarly, Islet of Steel is another place, but that's also barren, so...
Oh yeah, you're right. So definitely very nice to get some money from that.
And Command Melody. Well, isn't that an interesting set of starting items?
That's another one of these items for Wind Temple that are very much required, but don't really do anything for you until you're there.
So, Spy is choosing to do Mila, and Jim is deciding to go off and do some other checks. Will this pay out for Spy?
Definitely very fair. He stored the door to Maggie, which Jim just entered. So once he's done waiting for Mila, he can just enter the cafe door where he's at right now. But it sets him but it enters him to the door to Maggie because storage is black magic.
But yeah, that is a good point. We will get to full clear paw print here on our first trip.
Yeah, that's always very, very nice. And yeah, it's quite common that a lot of runners put off Mila to possibly have fire and ice arrows, mostly, so we can do creep while waiting for Mila. Maybe we even also get a picture box so we could store the Deutsche Lenso while waiting.
Alrighty, we got a sword. Always like that. Makes our fight so much faster. Oh boy.
That's really important. Bombs are like probably the second best item in the game after leaf, and having those early is really, really important. Especially because Forsaken Fortress is in logic. You don't need bombs to clear Forsaken Fortress, but it makes it so much faster. And there you can see Spy teleporting through the doors.
That is a big find for Spy right there.
For sure. Oh, and the skull hammer on the Beetle 20 rupee item.
So many choices open early.
That's basically FF completely open for Spytron if he does the same that the route the gymnast is doing right now.
Yeah.
Some runners like to have leaf for Forsaken Fortress, but especially with bombs and storing Phantom Ganon, it's not all that important.
Yeah. Spy just took a quick peek to see what Transparent's chest was. I did not see what it is, but I did see that he peeked it.
Yeah, I didn't see if it was spiky either. The screen is too small. Interesting.
The picto box.
There is that picto box we were talking about. That is pretty open. They could have had that before Windfall, which would have made some routing a bit easier.
So,
Spy.
I'm not sure Jim should have an inkling that they're on Windfall. There's still a lot of places bombs could be.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff open.
Yes. Hookshot was our starting item.
But yeah, that does mean that bombs, or something that leads to bombs, have to be on Windfall, since that's the only 3 items you could possibly need.
So there are multiple bomb bags in Wind Waker. However, it's only one location that gives you bombs that you can use.
Yeah, they are not the same. They don't work the same as in most other randos. The bomb bags are just more bombs. But the Jim might know that the bombs are on Windfall, but he doesn't know where. They could still be on Zunari or Mag Delivery, where he has to get other items first. So he probably won't be going back just to get Mila.
So we just stored a chest, looked at Fly Across, determined it wasn't worth it, and are now going to Forest Haven.
Yeah, probably getting. He might be getting the check on tree. Some runners might want to wait for leaf to get it, so you can do the checks backwards, or you might just go to Cliff Plat.
Looks to me like we might be seeing a leaf check. Or not?
Some indecision right there. Gonna save warp so he gets Beetle back
just
right
get the
here.
beetle in the back place, yeah.
And Wind Waker diving so he can swim underneath the island and enter Forest Haven from there. Much more comfortable than going the way around and also faster.
Also, shout out to Pup Time in chat being triggered whenever someone asks for our Baron locations today. That is a wonderful scenario.
Spy's not going to Forsaken Fortress instantly. He's deciding to do Cliff Plat first. Not doing the check that Gymnast is doing right now, probably because, like I said, probably wanting to wait for Leaf so he doesn't have to possibly double dip. Although Gymnast will be able to peek the chest on his way to Cliff Plat.
Ew. We do need one of those.
Yeah, we sure do. We might even need two, depending on if Angular Cave is required.
That's true. That's true.
But like some other items we saw, not something that optimizes your routing. Jim's gonna find out if he needs the second shield or not. Because he is going to Angular.
Hmm, 3 Tingle statues already. It's a lot of statues here pretty early.
And as most Wind Waker runners know, if all the statues are early, Ankles never required. Some confirmation bias right there. Oh, that looked spiky to me on
It
Angular
looked
Peak.
spiky to me.
Just gonna hook shot all the way up. But yeah, there's Spy at...
And a deluxe Picto.
Yeah, that is definitely very nice to have for the next Windfall trip. But yeah, Spy already in his first dungeon, not even 17 minutes into the seed.
So, with this, Spy can full clear this and have a great time.
Yeah, for sure. You don't need Leaf, for example, at all in Forsaken Fortress. It's already like completely in logic. Some runners just prefer having Leaf because it makes things more comfortable.
I mean, your first dungeon, getting in before 20 minutes and it's not DRC, feels pretty nice.
Yeah, for sure.
And the bow. Oh my.
That's very nice to have. What else is FF having in store for us? And another bow! Dude, that's actually crazy. The jail just having both bows. Or two of them.
That is wild. Okay.
Jim is deciding that the path hint to Hammerrock on Windfall is too important to not follow on, so he's doing Mila right now. He might also store the door to Upper Lenzo, although I don't think he can, because he didn't talk to Lenzo to unlock the door. So he will just have to wait, I guess. Because, he can store the door, but he's not gonna be able to enter. And I think he might have just realized that.
while we wait, let's watch this Phantom Ganon fight. Boy. All of the words that start with P and have Ganon.
So we'll probably see the spy store the chest with bomb push, and then walk up some walls to get into the Hammerrock fight.
No.
When we are getting another
Forsaken
item.
Fortress does not have the right to be this loaded when we're here before 20 minutes.
It is already in logic, and let's see what this has. If this is another bow, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Sounds will be made if it is another bow.
Jim getting his bombs. Luckily didn't put off Mila for way too long.
Yeah.
It could have definitely cost him a lot.
Okay. I was a little nervous with Spy's angle of entry, but he's fine.
Especially if Jim would have wanted to wait for fire and ice arrows before doing Mila, it could have cost him a lot. Since 2 bows are in Forsaken Fortress. Yeah, he is going to go into Lenzo's again to get the Fororis Pearl. Has to ride the windmill, which is definitely not very fast. Another option would have been to do what he did earlier, the Lenzo door cancel, with a blind setup.
Spy marked himself as getting another sword.
Oh, I think that is because I don't know if he actually got that sword, because we get a hint
Spy, that's right. Spy does have that terrible habit of marking things that he gets hints for.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a terrible habit, Spy. Please change that habit.
I really don't like his way of tracking his hints, but if it works for him, we can't really say anything about that. Jim getting that picture. Funnily enough, you can use this picture for the Menengo check as well. Since if you have Deluxe Picture Box, since you have a colored picture of Menengo.
Jim does,
there.
So...
Alright. Not getting soft luck by Hammerrock today, very nice.
Our destined Feor's Pearl, as the hints told us.
We might see something very, very useful out of that pearl. We did get a hint that Mail is path to Caladimos twice.
Well, we just got another thing of mail, so that'll be 2 mails. 3 mails. Oh wait, no, bomb mail we already know is useless.
Craziest thing would be leaf on arrow mail. Okay, Spy.
Would be quite a thing if that happened.
By leaving Forsaken Fortress while Jim is about to enter, so we're switching some places. No ghost ship chart stored, so I guess if there's nothing in his inventory, he might have stored some mail. That's the most likely thing. Yes, you can play this game on emulator with mods, but you can also play it on a Wii, for example, and also play with custom models.
So now we're kind of seeing them both do some checks we've already seen the others do.
I really want to see what those what the Pharaoh's Pearl is, because it's definitely something that Spy could put off, even though most people wouldn't advise on it since the two pathins for the male and Kaladimos, like having two Kaladimos pathins means that either both of those are like Tingle statues and Ankle as Leaf or Boomerang, or more likely that it's just Leaf and Boomerang on male checks.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Gymnast plays on a Wii and Spy is a Dolphin player, I believe. At least it looks like it, because Spy's screen looks a bit more like the emulator has a bit more better graphics than Wii. And to me it looks like Spy is using emulator. And Jim is definitely playing on a Wii.
Yeah, Jim plays on Wii.
Alright, Jim also entering Halmarock, doing it his route being a little different than Spy's. He's choosing to do Halmarock first.
Oh my goodness, Spy is doing Fire Mountain. That is a spicy play this early. Oh,
it's fine. You got both bows quite early in Logic. You have to do, like, you're doing DRI checks anyways, and there's Fire Mountain is the only thing that's near the Dragon Roost checks. So I would probably have done this as well, just to get it out of the way, since it's really annoying to get to later.
I mean, yes, but I just find it interesting because most people are not like, yeah, let's do Fire Mountain.
Yeah, that's for sure. We have Clarion in chat, who's the biggest hater of Fire Mountain. We'll see how it goes. Well, that is a wooden chest.
Yep.
Like so often, Fire Mountain disappoints.
Yep. Alrighty. Let's hope that Jim's bird is also nice, just as Spy's was, and... oh.
Dropping the bomb accidentally.
So far looks like okay.
Jim is one of those runners who are notorious for getting bad RNG with Halmarock. It's nice to see that this race isn't going to come down to a Halmarock softlock.
Quick peek to the top, and we are gonna see what it is.
I didn't look at Spy's screen, so I didn't see what item he's about to get.
I could not tell what it was from where we were. I'm not as good at all of the looking at things from far away as our runners are.
We have the excuse of the screen being quite small. Getting that shield, the second shield, Jim might not have to pick that up. I didn't pay attention if Angular Cave was indeed not spiky, because Jim marked it off on his map. So this is something Jim might peek later, but doesn't need to get it. While Spy doesn't need to get the shield on Deku Tree, even though he might do it, because he might get the shield before he sails to Angular.
True. Also, hello Raid. Welcome to Wind Waker Rando. Ooh. And yes, Rupor is in Wind Waker Rando when.
Jim's sadly missing that window jump and has to walk all the way back. That's always rough. But yeah, even the most experienced runners sometimes miss tricks. Getting it the second time, very nice.
And a wallet. That's just going to lead to even more mail.
When are we getting that leaf and boomerang? Or the statues, I suppose. Since this is Wind Waker Rando and hints can troll you quite a lot. Jim's about to find his 2 bows. Back to back. Having fire and ice is definitely always very, very nice. Because it opens up like quite a few checks in the overworld. Especially some like, so you can do some chains like Great Fish into Needle Rock. Which always feels good. Not having to come back for those.
And meanwhile, we now get to see Claire go from being devastated that we were in Fire Mountain to now being thrilled that we are in Bomb Island.
And he's even, like, pointed out, right, we have to get this item in Bomb Island, while Fire Mountain was dead.
Jim now coming back to Windfall.
Yeah, going for creep, since it's already nighttime, which is quite nice. A lot of runners are kind of like waiting to go to Windfall and try to bulk up on checks. So we don't have to go to the island all that much, but it can definitely pay off. Windfall so far has given us quite a lot.
Speaking of Tingle statues.
Spy sailing further to private oasis. He has all the items he needs to do this. Not logically, but we don't care about logic in this game.
Logic is a suggestion.
Yeah, just as walls are. Yeah, as Claire called, the season 5 creep, having nothing as always. Nothing new. But the transparent chest was spiky. So still required to do this chain. I don't know if Jim checked his mail actually while he was on Windfall.
He has not yet.
This is very much required to get. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't check his mail because he walked right past the mailbox, but...
So he's changing the daytime cycle, I think, so that Errol's mail will come through as well.
That does make a lot of sense. Oh, spiky chest and mother and child. I don't think we've seen that, even though it's one of those chests that are just available.
More Triforce.
And there's that leaf on mail.
Which mail was that? I think it was Arrow mail, wasn't it?
I think it was wallet mail, which came from Arrow mail. So basically, yes.
Fun. Also, thank you to Sir Nyquil of Sealand for continuing to support us here at ZSR. We appreciate ya. Yes, both runners have done tots.
The bottle from Ferora's mail, which we got from Pompey and Vera.
And you know what? Jim hasn't been to Outset yet, so we can one trip Outset.
Yeah, that's definitely always very, very nice. Don't get to do it a whole lot, but if you get to, it's really, really nice.
That's right, Alex. We will get to see some big pig.
I think Spy definitely stored a spiky chest on top of Waterfall, but I don't know what he's stored yet. Oh, those vicious rats in Cabana.
They
Jim is
just want
getting...
your money.
Yeah. Jim is getting his leaf now, and he is right at Forest Haven, so he can just enter Forbidden Woods here. You might need Boomerang by the logic of the randomizer, but Gymnast is quite comfortable skipping this Boomerang.
Yep.
No need for it at all.
So one thing I would like to point out is our runners do a fantastic job at this trick here, where you just hop out of the boat and leaf up like that. I'm not a runner, but I sometimes try to do the tricks, and that trick actually takes a lot more practice than you would think. So you saw Jim do it great. Here later we'll see Spy do it great. So, just a testament to how good both of our runners are today.
So it's definitely one of those tricks that you should learn. If you want to start playing this game, this is one of the first tricks you can learn, because it's definitely, compared to like storage and stuff, still not the hardest, even though it does take a bit of practice. But
it's really helpful.
And it saves so much time not having to go through all the inside of Forest Haven. It's actually like probably very much underappreciated.
I appreciate it. I'm also very bad at it. But there's a reason I just talk about the game.
And we do need volunteers just as much as we need runners. Oh, and getting a sword and ice ring, that's the last one we need, because we do know where the other one is, and it's on the mini-boss here in Forbidden Woods.
But if you are listening to us talk here, or seeing the fact that those buttons on the tracker seem like they're magically getting clicked, and you're like, I could talk about a game, or I could pretend to be magical and make things appear for an audience, you too could volunteer.
Spy is going for the shot from the small island. Let's see how fast he can get this. It's definitely much trickier than what Jim did earlier. You have to time it a little bit with an O, but he gets it quite fast. 3 or 4 shots is not too bad. Very nicely done. He will probably still be disappointed by Creep, giving him absolutely nothing. But we got used to it. We got used to it through Season 5 settings. Yeah, don't mind Jim just like walking up all the walls and doing... And definitely following how the game intends you to beat this dungeon.
Walls are a suggestion.
For sure.
Ceilings, though. Ceilings are not suggestions, they are actually ceilings.
Also, just look through walls to see if the chests that are above us are acquired. Ceilings are made to kill you. Yeah, you can definitely void out on a lot of ceilings if you walk into them.
And beautiful Mothula ice arrows. We love it when that happens. And there's that last sword.
Killing the Mothula with an ice arrow even skips the cutscene of it dying. And you keep the nice mini-boss music. But since we are... I think in the vanilla game, if you leave the room, like just through the door, you even keep it for longer, but I think that's fixed in Randomizer. Yeah, you usually need Boomerang to get down into the basement, but Jim is going to do a bomb ledge clip to get out of bounds here and just fall all the way down. Yeah, it was just a Season 5 creep.
Yeah.
Spy also getting that 4 hours Pearl. And while Jim decides that the key chest in the tree trunk is not important enough to get.
Not worth it.
Because we can definitely skip all the keys in this dungeon. And in most dungeons, even. We do only need 4 keys to to full clear all the dungeons in this game. With the right items, that is. The FW
And
basement.
we're exiting that room as well.
FW basement being completely empty. Oh, and Spy actually going for an early Wind Temple play here. He has all the items he needs, so it's definitely a respectable play, even though most runners would have chosen to wait for light arrows and do FW before. But since he hasn't gotten that boomerang yet, it's not entirely in logic, so it's definitely a...
Well, you know what I'm gonna say
Makes
about that
sense.
splay advo? It is spicy.
For sure. Let's see if it pays off. We know that the big key chest is Hero's Charm. We'll probably not see Spy get that, but it would be pretty fun. We also know that the tall basement room and the chest behind 7 armors are all dead, so this is a pretty fast dungeon. Since we can skip quite a lot of checks. Since 7 armors is dead, we can even peek the chest on top of Hub Room and possibly skip going up there altogether.
I would say Spy's taking risks because he's Spy.
Probably. Spy is known to be one of the runners who like taking risks. Jim
getting his fairy here. Okay.
Jim is a braver man than I am. I'm not hitting that seed ever again after collecting that fairy like at least 3 times. I always throw the seed towards the boss door.
So delivery bag for Spy after he already got into Cabana backwards.
We might need that for some checks on Windfall or the Note to Mom check. But yeah. On the other side we see, since Jim doesn't have a boomerang to kill Kaladimos, he has to take some other measures, and he's deciding to kill Kaladimos with bombs. He could also cut down Kaladimos with arrows, or shoot the outside with fire arrows, which is a little bit dependent on RNG and the cycle and how Kaladimos moves.
When you get that fire arrow kill, it is fast.
Yeah, it's by far the fastest. Even faster than Boomerang, but it is very rare that you get it. But Jim, I mean,
sword and bottle, I think.
Jim doing a very nice job at killing Kaladimos with bombs. Yeah, I don't remember anything being in Forbidden Woods besides that sword.
It might just be that sword, yeah. But still, even with that, it is not a long dungeon to just peek the chests.
Yeah, it's definitely not likely that Spy is going to be able to go mode it, because usually what most runners do, most runners just rush FW because it has so many checks, while also being one of the fastest dungeons to full clear. Like, the density is just so high. Yeah, Jim deciding to peek that chest outside. I sadly could not see if it was anything. He has that fairy on his Y button. Let's hope he doesn't use that to cancel his momentum. Alright, there he goes. By not deciding to not peek the chest on top of Hub Room. So he will activate the wind and get up there. While Gymnast is getting the Tingle statue inside Cliffplat here.
I'm still just really waiting for our outset trip
Yeah.
so that we can yeet the big pig.
Spy did warp to outset for a bit to maybe go there, but he decided to just go to Headstone first. So he would probably wanted to maybe soft reset back and then so he could do outset after and then go to Diamond Step and the islands around there. Oh,
Light
and
arrow.
there's our last bow. So you have the light arrows to do the mini boss.
So we know where all of the swords are. So yeah, just 2 shards.
Yes. So yeah, Jim going through Bomb Island and getting that, I believe it was a Tingle statue as well.
Mm-hmm.
Up on top of Harbroom and Wind Temple being nothing, it seems. Now continuing to the Spike Room. Do we know where the second small key is? Or was it top of
sure
Harbroom?
don't.
Because if we don't know, then yeah, Spy might just be, yeah, he might have realized that it probably has to be in this chest. I'm not sure why he got this chest.
To make the spikes go down.
Yeah, but he didn't have to get the chest, so he could have just left the room.
You know, I sure don't know.
Huh.
Sometimes Spy does things and I don't understand.
Oh yeah, that's true. He might have wanted to store that, since mini-boss has to be the big key. And kill all enemies is dead. Okay. The Piets are just the worst enemies in the game. They're so annoying.
Someone has to give Keys competition for Employee of the Seed.
So Spy is storing this chest and doing what's arguably the hardest boss key skip in this game, which still doesn't mean too much since it's with storage. It's quite, I don't want to say easy, but it's not the worst to skip boss keys. While Jim is going through some checks that we've seen from Spy. But yeah, we don't need to kill all the enemies in this room. Just gonna go up, press the switch, and continue to go kill Mulgara.
So Spy specifically commissioned this skin, so he's not distracted by it. In fact, he loves having it.
Yeah, this is the scarier part of this boss key skips, because you have to land on top of this fan. And if you get knocked down, there's nothing really you can do. Spy going for the risky strat of just jumping into the wind. Another method would be to jump slash on top of the next fan and just leave towards the platform.
Some great jokes from our wonderful chat members today. So, no, neither of our hunters has Cabana Deed. They're just doing a trick which we love to call Cabana Skip, where via the power of storage and the power of hookshot, we go, hey, who needs the Cabana Deed?
Even if Jim would have the Cabana Deed, he wouldn't be able to show it off since he doesn't have delivery bag yet. Also, if it would be possible if to switch the audio to Spytron so we can enjoy the nice music, it would be incredible. Thank you so much. So we will see Spy trying to snipe Mulgera from the air while she attacks, which is something they did patch out in Wind Waker HD.
Very good snipe.
Yeah, you can see Spy getting it. Sadly, not getting the very quick snipe, which is quite rare to get. Like not to miss it, but to get it it's quite rare. But going for it isn't like not a time loss. It's very fast if you do get it. Well, that's a weird position. But the L target helping out and killing Mulgera quite fast. Jim having some rough time with the ice physics on Ice Ring. Arguably just as annoying as Fire Mountain. But we do have 2 checks on this island, so it's a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. The inside. He will get that last sword. And if he finds that shard in the overworld on like Outset or something, he will be able to skip a lot of things in Wind Temple because the light arrows are like in left alcove are very early.
Yeah. I would much rather be able to easily skip things than any of the temples than other dungeons.
Yeah, for sure. Especially the Earth Temple Go mode is just so much faster than the full clear.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but he is at Windfall, so yeah, he will be entering Wind Temple right now. So scratch that about him skipping anything in Wind Temple. But since so many checks are already hinted dead, it's not even that slow. Especially with the key logic, it's very nice to clear this dungeon. If he goes for the peak for top of Hub Room, he never has to activate the wind. He doesn't have to enter the big key chest, and he won't even have to fight the mini boss because he will know it's the big key. This is definitely probably the nicest Wind Temple you will ever get, besides a Go mode.
By now doing a delivery bag check, giving us some more information.
We got the nice turnaround with a wacky camera. So yeah, he will be getting the town flower from Zunari. Probably will be going to Great Fish, Needle Rock after to trade the flower. And then continue on to Needle Rock and Diamond Step probably. I guess he will.
Zunari does feel a little bit bad when Great Fish was already hinted dead.
Yeah, that is very true. Having to go to that island anyways is pretty annoying. Spy about to get that shard in Mother and Child 55 minutes in, and this is a Sphere 0 check. It's definitely kind of crazy.
It sure was a decision.
So he's also only one shot away from Goemon, since he does know his last sword is in the Forbidden Woods mini-boss. And we will see the first outset trip in the seed, also 55 minutes in the game.
Big pig, big pig, big pig.
Big Yeet emote when. Definitely something we need to get on. Let's see if that Ferrora's Pearl on Pompey and Vera does anything for us, or if this just gives us Boomerang or something. Which is always logically required even without Forbidden Woods, but runners of this caliber won't need Boomerang for anything.
By being a good grandchild and saving Grandma.
I wonder how traumatized Grandma is seeing her grandson with his head backwards. So yeah, Gymnast picking up his light arrows. Oh, spiky chest. Will this be the last item?
Oh.
There we go. That is go mode for Spy.
Yeah.
You can just go into Forbidden Woods, get that sword, kill Carl Demos, and go to Hyrule. So this is looking very, very good for him.
Yeah.
Might be a new Season 5 record. I doubt it. The Season 5 record is 109. And since he needs to go through FW, which definitely still takes like a few minutes, and then go to Hyrule, go through Hyrule, which is like another 8. Unlikely, but still very, very close. So he might be able to make it.
Still very fast seed.
Yeah, for sure. Putting off FW, which is a pretty rare play, paying off big time this seed. Never even finding that Boomerang, even though it's probably hinted. Might even just be waiting on Grandma Mail. Oh, Jim will not be able to skip this room since he decided to do the basement checks first and didn't look at the tub of hub room, so he doesn't know if that's wooden and that this chest that's not here has to be a small key. Which will lose him even more time. Spy picking up his arrows again.
I'm mean, actually, just getting taken by the floor master back here, really not that bad.
Oh no, Jim, you got a hint for this.
Oh no, Gem.
You already looked at the chest locked in tree trunk in FW, even though it was hinted a small key. Probably, maybe it's not all that comfortable with this, is since he usually reads his hints during Mila. And he did go pretty fast reading them. He's even going to do the mini-boss, even though he should know that this is a small key. The big key, I mean. Where do these hints appear? We are getting our hints from the King of Red Lions, so our boat. Yeah, that is definitely very true. Jim did just wake up right before this race. I would definitely hate playing an important race right after.
I woke up.
Yeah. Thank you. I was.
I got you. I knew what you were working on saying.
So yeah, Spy about to pick up his last item. Sadly, the Season 5 record seems to be out of reach, but he could probably get the Season 5 tournament record. Since the fastest seed that's been done in this tournament has been by Tuberman, which was like at 1:15.
The card that Jim needs is under Grandma's house.
Which is definitely a funny place for a go mode item. I don't think I've ever hit go mode on outset. But yeah, the seed, why go to outset if you have everything for all the other places?
It's pretty weird. But at the same time, I feel like you had everything for outset, so like, it also would have been nice to just go to outset.
Yeah, that is definitely... It's just a decision you need to make in the seed. And sometimes a randomizer decides that it doesn't like you today.
By using arrows to knock Calademos down.
Showing us that other strat that I mentioned earlier. Definitely just a thing of preference. Whatever you're more comfortable with. And with 2 quick spins, Calademos is dead already. Yeah, for sure. Going into your last dungeon with overworld checks. It depends on... Always depends on what dungeons you have, since... And especially with this Wind Temple having so many hints, it's definitely very understandable Jim decided to go for it. And for the second cat jam of this race. And this means all that Spy has to do is go to Hyrule and finish this off. Although Jim, if he goes to outset right after Mulgera, this is still pretty close at least. High roll is always the last skill check in the game. Fighting Puppet Ganon is never free. It's definitely something you can lose some time on if today is just not your day. So far, Spy has been playing really good. There's Molgera done, and the only shard, and if Jim goes to outset now, that's maybe a 2-minute difference. Although you would probably save Grandma first, maybe.
It's very unlikely that Jim will come back from this, but if Zelda decides to troll really badly, technically it could happen.
Yeah. With the caliber of this runners, I would definitely expect Spy to be able to bring this home and win.
Yeah.
But like some people are saying, this race isn't over until the sword's in Ganon's head. There are always things that could happen. And especially since we have like only 3 or 4 hearts. Yeah, with 3 hearts, it's always possible you might just die to Ganondorf. Even though we do have soup, so it is easy to prevent. But first, Jim has to go to outset right now.
Why are you going to Great Fish?
Which he doesn't seem to do.
Great Fish was hinted dead, and Islet of Steel was also hinted dead. Oh, you're going to Needle Rock. Okay.
Definitely an interesting decision. An outset into Diamond Step into Needle Rock would have felt pretty nice here. But I guess that's easy to say if you didn't know where the required item is. But it is probably something that I would have done in his place. But Needle Rock is 2 checks. You can clear it quite fast with Fire and Ice. Yeah, Burial Skip is banned in Randomizer races since it would. So you would be able to skip way too much. It's just like Puppet Ganon skip. These are like the 2 big glitches we are actually banning. We have a few other ones that we don't allow, but they're much more niche.
It goes against the spirit of our competition.
And I mean that we play Randomizer to find all the items quickly, and if we skip like 3 swords or all 3 bows, for example, it would kind of defeat the purpose. Oh, Jim going for that spiky chest.
Is that our 5th Tingle statue?
That really hurts to see him getting baited like that. That's always the worst. And it's by Nehru's Pearl, one of the worst things. The pearls, like the Din's and Nehru's Pearl, are the 2 checks that are like actually useless if Tachi is not in logic. That's really unfortunate. By getting that very nice first shot. Almost getting the second one right away. Getting that second snipe quite fast. Let's see. Oh, this looks pretty good. Very nice.
Very good first phase.
This is the most difficult one for now. The other 2 phases are like pretty standard and usually don't lose too much time. So this is definitely looking very rough for Jim now. He's going to Diamond Step. Sadly won't be finding his last shard here either. Definitely unfortunate how this played out for him.
But, you know,
that's-
sometimes you just get randoed in rando.
Yeah, the rando be rando. And this is also probably like one of those seeds where like I haven't gone to outset in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Now I don't want to go to outset at all. Oh, Spy sadly not getting any crypt shots today, it seems. Oh, very nicely leaf over there by Jim. That's something that looks easy, but it's very hard actually. It's way harder than it should be.
And very good first
And
snipe.
another debate for Jim with the Cabanity in Diamond Step. Wow, that's so
Beautiful
mean.
second shot.
Yeah, very well done by Spy. Just has to get the last snipe and gets it.
Very good.
Very well done. And there's Jim going to outset, getting his last pearl now, probably. He might go to Mesas first, which is the standard play, basically. And he might save Grandma before checking under the house. But he will be getting that shard kind of soon. While Spy is climbing up that rope to the final fight versus Ganondorf, which is... Wow, this is really another spiky chest. That is actually crazy.
Well, I think that means we were only three spiky chests away from all the potential spiky chests we could have found.
Yeah, we could have still found Moblin's letter.
Could have still found the boomerang and could have found the ghost ship chart.
Yeah, boomerang is probably not in a chest since I think it's on a mail check by this Pathins. And we could always find a few more bottles.
Oh yeah.
There he goes, finally getting his last shard after so many spiky chests. While Spytron is fighting the big bad guy. Sadly got hit, has to refill on his soup.
This is what we talk about as even when you've put in the hours. Sometimes this fight still doesn't go exactly as the script likes to play out.
There is the last shot by Zelda, and this is GG's for Spytron.
GG's.
Jim about to enter Hyrule. Probably giving us a show to show off Hyrule once again. I don't think Jim is a runner that looks at race time. So he probably doesn't even know that Spy is finished, and he might even feel almost comfortable since he's like in Hyrule before 1 hour 13 minutes. Which is still really fast.
Yeah, very fast to see this one.
Yeah, season 5 are like already pretty fast, and this is like even on the much lower end. Spy finishing with a 1:12, which is the second fastest time ever in season 5. All right, and we are joined by the runners. Oh.
Oh.
GG's.
GG's.
This was quite a seed.
Yeah. Still wondering where that boomerang is.
It has to be on Grandma, I think.
Yeah, it has to be. Since you checked the note to mom mail, Jim, I think. And it has to be on a mail check.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it could just be like Ghost Ship Chart 2 Boomerang or something.
Whoa, where was Ghost Ship Shard?
No, I mean that Ghost Ship Chart
mean
could...
Grandma has Ghost Ship Shard, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. Spy putting off Forbidden Woods after Wind Temple and getting to basically go moded definitely paid off a bunch.
Yeah, and I got even happier when I saw that the chest I was storing to get my sword was the big key.
Yeah, that's very, very nice. Jim, you got... I like talked about it a lot, but you got really, really messed up by the seed at the end. By like, how many spiky chests were it before getting the shard? It was like 3, I think.
Yeah, it was like Nehru's Pearl, Cabana Deed, and then Tingle Statue number 5.
Yeah,
that's finally getting the Triforce shard.
That's really, really rough. But sometimes that's just how it is in Rando, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, it happens. I skipped a mighty fine... it was 34 checks. That's what I skipped.
Yeah, that is really, really
That's
crazy.
a lot of checks left.
34. Getting the fastest time in the Season 5 tournament so far.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the fast time before was by Tuberman with a 1:15, I believe, around there.
I know some people have posted like jet seeds in the Discord, like 111s and stuff. But yeah, I think this is the fastest one in the actual tournament.
Yeah. Fastest one in general is a 109. I think that's the fastest I've seen and I've played. Yeah. Other than that, what else is there to talk about in the seed? The bombs on Mila were like pretty... I thought that this was something that could mess you up quite a bit more, Jim, because Spy decided to get Mila on his first trip to Windfall, but you decided to leave and just do nighttime checks later. And I thought, especially after we saw Spy getting 2 bows in FF, and maybe your thought process was waiting to get the 2 creep while Mila, which would have definitely...
Yeah, which wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would have put you way behind.
I forgot about those 2 bows. I got those, and I calmed down once I got those 2 bows, honestly.
Yeah, that was actually kind of crazy.
No, yeah, once I got the 2 Pictoboxes, and because I knew Ferrari's Pearl was on Poppy and that mail was on the path to Calademos, I went back and did that stuff.
Yeah, that is definitely very, very fair. I have another question for you, Jin, which is, I know you've been doing, reading your hints during Mila for the most time of this tournament, and when you decided to switch back from that.
I kind of decided that, yesterday.
I see.
Because, so what my strategy now is I basically just take a picture of each hint as I scroll through them.
Oh,
to essentially scroll through them faster. And then just look at the hints and look at the screenshots back as I'm doing other things.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I know that Tanjoel has been trying to record him reading out the hints while reading them, which is another one of the creative ways of doing the hints.
I read them while I set up for door cancel.
Yeah, that is definitely your standard play. And definitely a valid one. Not one that many other runners choose to do. I don't think there's anyone actually who does that. But it is fair. You do need to go through those hints anyways.
Yeah, and if you can just get from point A to point B while you do it, it helps.
Yeah, for sure. Just can't really write them down and remember them easy for later.
Yeah, I just remember 1 or 2 of the path hints, and I don't even remember what it's for. I'm just like, oh, I have to go to this island sooner than I usually would, and then I forget the other path hints, and then I remember the 4 barons, and then when I get to Miss Marie's door, I just mark off those 4 islands.
Yeah. I definitely think in most seats that probably definitely a nice way to do it, and then you get like one seed where like your path hints are so valuable and necessary to follow them that it might mess you up, but in general, I feel like it's a pretty good play as well.
Yeah, I usually look for stuff like if I have to do an island before a dungeon, or if I have to do a dungeon before a dungeon. Like I just look for like orders, and then I keep that in mind. In this one, I don't think I kept any path hints in mind. I just let all of them go.
Yeah, the patterns in this race weren't like too exciting. Besides like knowing that male has to lead to leaf, probably. I guess it could have been like 2 statues on male for boomerang on ankle or something. Yeah, GG's to Jim on restream. Very nice Hyrule. But yeah, Windfall path hints are always like kind of like, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I guess for Hamrock, the Hamrock one was pretty nice, so you knew that bombs were on Windfall after getting that hammer. Like at least Jim, since Spy got the bombs before the hammer.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, like Windfall to Mulgara, who knows if that's Iron Boots or the command melody. Who knows? I
really enjoyed getting those Fire and Ice early. I was actually able to chain like Fire and Ice checks with each other. I got to do Fire Mountain right after Dragon Roost, which I don't get to do often. It's usually a one-off check and nobody likes it.
Yeah, for sure. Like doing it with DRC or like DRI checks together definitely is one way of making it a bit better.
And I was I was like upset with myself because after Cabana, I was gonna go do Ice Ring without the leaf, so I'd have to like wait for the ice blocks. But then I got my leaf on Cabana, and it just made it that much better.
Yeah, Ice Ring is definitely annoying without leaf. But yeah, is there anything else you two have to say about the seed? If you have like any questions.
Honestly, I don't even know. It was such a quick seed. There's like not much to remember.
Yeah, for sure. Nothing really too special.
One thing I do enjoy about Season 5, though, is I was in Hyrule at like just past 1 hour. Like, I think it was like an hour 5 or an hour 6. And I was thinking, like, back in Season 4, I would hit the 1 hour mark, and I would determine if I was doing a good job or not on whether or not I've done at least one dungeon by that point.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy how much faster Season 5 can get with the hints and everything.
Yeah, chest types matches contents, I think, is what like helps with that a lot.
Yeah, I think chest type matches content like cuts down more time in general, but then there are seeds like this where you just know you can skip a whole lot of things because you know like where your last items is or something.
Yeah, and Wind Temple was nice because of that, because I was able to skip 2 checks because I knew that they were both keys. Oh, yeah. I actually meant to store the Spike Wall Room chest, but I like looked away and I just autopiloted and opened the chest and was like, oh, okay, well, guess I have to go find something else.
It happens. I thought maybe one of you would have stored the chest behind Stonehead to peek at the chest at top of Hub Room to skip even having to like activate the wind, which is a play I really like to do when 7 Armors is hinted dead.
Interesting. I actually didn't know about that peek. No, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know about that either.
What you do is like you basically like run, like go into the wall next to the warp pod. After you like go up onto where the switch is, and then you just look through the wall with telescope up to the other chest.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
I think Tuba found that in a race. Just like threw away first place to look for that. So shout outs to Tuba for that.
I learned the top of Island Peak from I think someone in CC. I was like doing VOD review for them, and I saw them do the peak for the headstone check, and it blew my mind. I didn't know about it, and so I got to use it today.
Yeah, peaks. What I think it's funny is kind of funny. I guess we didn't have telescope in season 4, but like peeking at the item on top of Deku Tree would have been possible in season 4 as well, but we just like never even thought about it since peaks weren't a really big thing.
Yeah. Like, I can't really even think of any peaks that we might have done.
Other than like Headstone, obviously, but
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But for that,
even
like, yeah, starting with telescope is like a big thing for that, since you can't really see most items.
it's definitely on people's minds more to like check for stuff. Well, hey, I had a lot of fun doing these 2 races. I'd like to make a quick callback to the spoiler log. It was either spoiler log or S4, but I think it was spoiler log. I told Gymnast that in our next race it would be different, and our next race was like our game 1, and it was different.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was spoiler log.
Yeah, I kept my promise.
Yeah, making the progress. Very, very nice.
It was a great race. Thank you to for racing. If you have not already, please consider giving Spy and Jim a follow. They are both really good runners and make some pretty good content. Also, feel free to give Advo a follow. Also makes some great content and was a really great commentator. And we can't forget Arma for the wonderful job that he did tracking.
Yeah, even double tracking, really, really nice.
Like, great job.
And thank you, Tobias, for still setting up this restream after the initial struggle that we had.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that, and thank you, Vim, for commenting with me. It was a pleasure.
Hey, it's fine. All that led to me finding a way to drown on dry land. It was a lot of fun. Also, do I get extra points for getting the spoils bag on middle of hub room?
No, I hate spoils back. You don't get any points from me. But yeah, I think that's all for this. So we can hand it over to Tobias to maybe tell us what's next on ZSR today.
Certainly can. Once again, before I do that, thank you so much to our runners and to our volunteers who made this restream possible. And yeah, congratulations, Spytron, for moving on. Commiserations to you, Gymnast, for not quite making the next round. And what's next on ZSR? Well, we have up next on the schedule at 8 p.m. UTC, 4 p.m. Eastern, the OOT Bingo Tournament 2022, the finals. Top 3000 versus Tomato. And at midnight UTC and 8 p.m. Eastern, Z2R Standard Tournament 2022, the winner bracket round 3, Sparkles versus Animus United. Also going on ZSR right now, actually, is Link to the Past Randomizer race on ZSR2 Cross Keys Tournament 2022 quarterfinals, Wall Kicks versus Gamachu, and the place I want to rate us to the Majora's Mask Randomizer Standard Tournament Season 3 lower bracket round 4, BC Guppy versus the Mishi, which has just started. So let's give Majora's Mask Randomizer some love. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on ZSR.